Hey, can you see me?
Yeah, Mr. Gant, how you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good, good. It's good to get you on here.
Appreciate you.
Um, CBC D line O line, 4.4 GPA.
Yep.
Um, kind of talk a little bit to us about your football background when you started and things of that sort.
Got it. So, my first year playing football, I was in the fourth grade. I played for U City, and then after playing with U City for 1 year, I went to the CBC Junior Cadets, and I played with them fifth grade through eighth grade.
What kind of led you to CBC?
Well, when I was in fourth grade, my dad has a frat brother who coached for the junior team, and so that's when I first played when I was in fifth grade, and then after that, I just like the culture there and like how seriously they took it and how successful they were, and just like the environment of the coaches and stuff. I was led to it, and I loved it.
Played a lot of varsity this year. Speak a little bit about that transition from eighth grade ball to varsity football.
Yeah. So coming in doing the summer camps, we were doing drills and stuff, and coaches said they wanted to bring me up to JV to see how I would do. And then when we were in the JV scrimmages against, I think it was either Parkway West or something, I was killing it. And so uh, coach told me that he would bring me to the varsity games, and he wanted me to learn from the guys, see what they were doing, see what their routine was, and just try to get into the groove of it.
Uh, any of the guys on varsity take you under their wing at all? And if so, who are those guys?
Definitely. Sam Weber, D lineman, uh, Feeney. When I was working with the O line, Feeney always tried to bring the best out of me, and make sure I knew what I was doing. Aiden Robinson Wayne he was a guy who got a lot of a lot of varsity time as a freshman. He just told me to keep a head on your shoulders and be focused and just learn.
The pandemic started. You can't do your normal routine. Speak a little bit about how you're continuing to be able to get better during these times.
Yeah, so I've been watching tons of film, making sure I know the playbook in and out. I have dumbbells and resistance, so I'm doing a workout every day, if not twice a day. Just being consistent and making sure that when we do start some workouts that I'm ready and that I'm getting to work.
Um, how do you feel like your body has developed and improved, even just from eighth grade to where you are now?
Yeah, so I've changed a lot since eighth grade. Eighth grade, I was probably like 5'11", 6 foot, and I couldn't weigh more than 215 pounds. And so I've just been trying to not like put on weight basically, but put on muscle. And because coming onto varsity, I was undersized. Like I was getting pushed around a lot. So I'm just trying to make sure that I got some muscle on me so I can not only use my speed moves, but use my power moves too, and go through some people.
I got you. Um, any of the coaches that you've been able to gravitate to that have been able to help you as well?
Yeah, Coach P, I met him. I didn't talk to him a lot, but his son plays for the junior cadets team too, and so I've learned a lot from him, and also my position coach, Coach Vic, taught me a lot about not just D line, but just like how you can connect football to life in general, and he really helped me a lot and made sure that I knew what I was doing and that I felt like I was part of the team.
So if we have football this year, what can we expect out of Tyler Gant?
You can expect a bigger and stronger player, somebody who's gonna make a definite difference on the line of scrimmage and just in the game in general.
Um,
Expect somebody who is getting a push through the line and is ready to fight every play.
uh, what do you think was your best varsity game this season?
My best varsity game this season is probably Chaminade. I got in late in the fourth quarter. I got in some in the third quarter too. But that last two series, I probably had 3 or 4 tackles and a hit on the backup QB. So I was hyped about that.
Uh, what would you say are some of your strengths and some weaknesses that you're working on right now during these times?
My biggest strength is probably my arsenal of moves. I eighth grade summer, I focused a lot on just like getting everything I could in my tool belt because I wasn't as strong yet. So I made sure I knew every offensive lineman movement so I can read and react to it. I got spin move, chop, swipe, all of those. Make sure I knew how to do them in and out and how to use the guys in front of me disadvantages to my advantage. My biggest weakness, as I said, I was a little guy, so like my arms weren't as strong as they are now, and so I've just been building that up a lot over the quarantine and over the break.
Um, One thing I noticed on your film is you mentioned using your hands. Speak a little bit about who kind of has worked with you on that, or guys that you train with.
So a lot of my hand speed. Well, I didn't usually actually used to use my hands a lot. Like in 8th grade, you didn't really have to have moves to be a decent D lineman. The guy I really worked with a lot is Colin Bell, a sophomore at CBC. His hand speed is crazy, and so I've just been learning from him and seeing how he gets his hand speed better, and just been looking up like Aaron Donald's hand speed drills, Khalil Mack's hand speed drills, and just trying to mimic them and go off what they're doing.
CBC has a standard in the St. Louis area of being a high-level football program. Um, they were back-to-back champions before, losing to Dismet in the playoffs this year. How do you feel like you can help continue that legacy at CBC, and what do you think you have to do to help the team?
Like that as just do my job, making sure that when I go out on the field, I know what I'm doing and I know how to do it well. In those teams, they always had an amazing D line, and so I just want to be able to be a part of that amazing D line and make sure that I'm taking care of business when I'm out there.
4.4 GPA.
Yes, sir.
Very, very, very impressive. How do you manage, the football field and in the classroom?
I make sure that I take pride in my education. So like we probably have practice. Well, during the season, we you get out at 3, get out of school at 3, and then we have practice from maybe 3 to 5:30 or to 6. But I make sure as soon as I get home, like I'm spending 2 to 3 hours every day making sure that I have all my homework done and that I have no assignment. Well, all of my assignments due the next day are done. Like I don't go to sleep until they're done. I'm not making a priority.
Uh, what's your biggest motivation right now?
Biggest motivation is definitely my family, especially my parents. Like they sacrificed a lot for me to be in the position that I am, to be at CBC and to be excelling in the stuff that I am. And so they're definitely my motivation to just make them proud and make sure that their sacrifices were worth it.
Um, you spoke a little bit about your parents. Which one of those parents are harder on you on the football part?
Football part is definitely my dad. Like after every game or every practice, we're talking about what can I work on, what did I do good, like what do we need to critique, and making sure that I'm ready for the next practice or ready for the next game mentally.
Um, did you ever have a moment on varsity where you went up against a guy or anything, and it was just like, oh, okay, this real up here now?
That was actually like my first game. Like so coming in, I think we played O'Fallon, and I got like 1 or 2 plays in the second quarter, and I never played in the varsity game before, so I came in. And I was okay, just do what coach told me, and it's gonna be the same. Like nothing's different. Came off, got smacked. No, this is a little different. I got to get used to this. So yeah,
Right.
just first play. I didn't know who he was. I barely watched film that week. I was just nervous.
Right.
So that was definitely eye opening.
So when you watch film, are you watching film by yourself? Who you go over film with, and what are you actually looking for?
So first time I watched this like the same film over and over again. So first time I'm watching film, I'm watching my position, I'm watching who I'm going against, and I'm watching the movements. Second time, I'm probably watching it by myself again, and I'm watching the whole field. Like what was the play, what was the call, what was the down. Third time, I'm going over with a teammate, and I'm focusing on my position again, just making sure that I'm ready and I'm doing my job when I'm supposed to.
If you if you could compare your game to a college or NFL player, what would you say, or who are you trying to at least get mimic your game after?
I'm trying to mimic my game. Probably person I watch the most film on is Aaron Donald, and just how dominant he is. Like he can do any move. Like he can bully you through bull rush. He can finesse you. He can do 3 or 4 plays like with just without even touching the O lineman. And so I watch him over and over and over again, and just how completely dominant he is. Like that's where I'm trying to get to.
It's third down. It's third and 3. It's the fourth quarter. Uh, you guys get a stop. No, we'll go fourth down. We'll say they're going for it. It's 4th and 3.
Got it.
And what's your go-to move? What you going to make sure you get in the backfield, make a play?
My go-to is probably a club swim. I love the club swim because I'm not tall, but that gives me a chance to see where the ball is going, and I can make a quick shift to try to make an impact on the ball.
Who would you say is the best O lineman that you went up against this year?
Best O lineman I went up against my freshman year. I gotta say Brady Feeney. I practice going against him was rough because he never didn't go 100%. And so, especially like against me, like he called me out of practice, like I'm gonna take it to the ground every play, and that was his mindset. And like he's a guy who is like 6'6", 300, and has one of the quickest feet on the team. So you just going against him was rough, but I learned a lot from him.
When was that all moment uh, in your first varsity game when you were like, "Dang, I made it a little bit"? You know what I'm saying? Like, what
Yeah,
kind of walk us through when that moment was?
that moment was probably the ESPN the Smack game pregame. Like everybody was hyped. Camera crew was out there. They were doing the like little promotions and stuff. And I remember we were doing warm ups, and I was looking at the stands, and I was like, there's not one seat in the stands that isn't filled, and it was crazy to me.
Who would you say is some of your best friends on the CBC team right now?
You say best friends?
Yeah, anybody on the team that you go and work out with or very, very cool
Yeah,
with?
yeah. So definitely my D line. Me, Colin, Ron, RJ. We all hang out. We go work out together. Um, Junior, Jordan Marshall. I work out with him and his big brother. He helped me out a lot. Lil Tat, Jacob Tatum. We go to the park and work out with him sometimes. Yeah, but yeah, they're very welcoming, and they help me out a lot, give me a lot of knowledge. I appreciate them.
Um, who would you say pushes you the most out of the group of your friends when it comes to the football field?
Football field, definitely C Bell, because he's a guy that I worked out. I've been playing with him since I was in like 6th grade, and so he's seen me go from a little. I wasn't little, but like the tall, scrawny kid to the tall, not scrawny kid, and just every play he's working. And so it pushing me to get better. And so yeah, that's probably who pushes me the most.
Um, One thing that's the biggest thing is if you get a scholarship from a school, what would you be looking for in a school?
What I'm most looking for in a school is a school that can progress me even after college. So I'm looking for like who's gonna bring me in to get me ready for the next step. Who's gonna let me be successful on the field and off the field and in the classroom. And so that's probably my biggest focus for college. Just making sure that it's an all around good decision for me.
What you think you're running in the 40 right now?
40 combine a couple weeks ago. I ran a 4.3, but I'm pretty confident I can run like a 5.2, 5.1.
I got you. Favorite college team?
Favorite college team for football?
Yeah.
Ah, favorite college team is gonna have for football. It's got to be Mizzou. It's home state.
Okay. Favorite NFL team?
Favorite NFL team? Seahawks.
Favorite quarantine snack?
Ooh, I haven't missed snacks. Lay's chips.
Favorite show you've been watching?
I've been watching Friends a lot on Netflix.
Mm, any albums of music that you listen to right now?
Blame It on Baby.
Hottest young rapper in the game?
Ooh, Lil TJ.
Favorite movie of all time?
Friday After Next.
If you can only have one meal for the rest of your life, what is it?
Pasta. Easy.
Favorite thing to do on the weekends?
Play basketball outside.
Um, Favorite moment on the football field as a kid?
Championship game my 7th grade year. That was crazy.
Who you play, and kind of walk us through a little bit about it.
I don't even think it counted as a championship game. I think it was like just end of the season game. We were going against, I'm trying to remember. I think it was Troy. And yeah, it was my first time being there, and we were all hyped before the game. I don't even think I ate that day. It was just all chills, and I played really good that game. I think I had like 6 or 7 tackles. So yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Are you good at any other sports?
I played basketball my whole life. I'm pretty decent at it. I played for the freshman team this year. Yes, that's probably.
Our man Christian Cotton said Tyler can't hoop.
Christian can catch me in a 1-on-1 any day. I'm not dodging no smoke.
And finally, I got one last question for you. What would you say is the biggest area of improvement we will see from Tyler Gant?
You will see.
Hold on, my bad. On the field and also off the field.
Got you. On the field, is definitely a more dominant person on the line. Not getting pushed around. No more gathering your feet at the tackles. I'm taking people to the ground. Off the field, you'll see somebody not only continuing to have that like the 4.0 GPA, but also advancing their extracurriculars. So like going to clubs or just being involved in the community more. I'm definitely make that more of a focus this year too.
My bad. I said it was the last question, but I had one more. This is towards CBC.
You
What are those practices like?
They're grueling. Definitely. They're working the second we step on the field to the second we step off the field, you're working the whole time. It's just constant movement, constant direction. You just got to keep your head on the swivel and just try to keep up because there's no stop. It's all gas.
All right, and tell everybody where they can follow you at on Twitter, Instagram.
You can follow me at Twitter, TyGant44, TYGANT44, and at Instagram, I'm tripping. TyGant44, TYGANT44.
That's good. I'm gonna say this before we go out. I think Tyler Gant is a young man that has a very, very high ceiling, long arms. He's in a good program at CBC. Good defensive coach, great head coach. So I think the sky's the limit as long as you continue to put in work. I think those guys are proven to help guys elevate their game. All you got to do is just be a student. You know what I mean? If you do that, I know that they will help you. I know that those practices are real. That's why I wanted to ask you. You got to kind of get a feel because they prepare you for the next level. Yeah. One thing that all my friends that went to CBC, Trey Bryan, Lamar Anderson, Rashawn Davis, all those guys, they kind of were part of the standard. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's a standard at CBC. You know what I mean? So I know I'm curious to watch your development to see, okay, are you going to hold that CBC standard? Because it's like it's one of those things that's like you got a target on your back when you go there. You know what I mean? And you got to be able to understand that, hey, you might not be liked by everybody, but we expect y'all to win. And we don't really want to hear no excuses on why not. It's just that's what we expect. You know what I mean? I mean, and that's the crazy thing is, guys before you have made that what it is. So you gotta keep that going. I think you have a high ceiling, like I said, and I look forward to watching you. I like the fact that you're dominating the classroom and you're improving on the football field. So I think year two should be very, very good for you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Um, yeah, no, but I appreciate you coming on, man. Your dad, I appreciate we were able to make that happen. Shout out to your dad.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you this: as long as you continue to put your head down and keep working, good things will happen. So I wish you nothing but the best and good luck, and I appreciate you. And we'll be in touch. All right?
No problem. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.